You just give me a heads up when we're actually live.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Tom, when's your hunt?
Let's see. It is mid-October.
Mid-October.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go up there twice. Going to go up mid-October, come back, run NASGW, then come back and go back and hunt. Going up early to set up camp and get it all set up, and then go back for the actual hunt. But the season's open when I'm setting up camp. So if Mr. Buck walks out, it's venison time,
it's
baby.
tearing down camp.
That's right. At that point, I'm the camp cook. You know.
Targets of opportunity.
Oh, that's awesome.
Last year, I was flying wood into camp for them. They were out of wood, so
There's no wood at camp.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's true. I've been out there.
No, just nothing. There's sagebrush.
That have you decided on what you're going to take?
Yes, I'm going to take two number ones. The two 257s, a Roberts and a Weatherby. Weatherby's going to be the primary, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I got two rifles getting ready for the season, and you know, that's part of the part of the fun of hunting season is all the getting ready for it.
Oh
right?
yeah, people, you know, all the hunters for probably the last month at least.
Oh yeah.
If you're not managing land, if you're managing land, you started in like May. Or earlier,
this morning I get a text from my buddy. And he's got video of he messed up a stalk on a 5-point bull. He's already bow hunting for elk.
Yep.
And he's sending me pictures and things. So, I mean, it's on right now.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the deep south, you know, everything's a little later on the hunting season.
It's still the heat of summer.
Yeah, it's going to be like 98 degrees today.
Yeah.
I'm not archery hunting anything in 98
with mosquitoes
degrees.
and ticks and rattlesnakes. So no.
Archery hunting my air conditioner. All right, so we are live. Welcome to Gun Talk Live. Happy Friday to you.
That's right.
And we found Tom. He's on with us.
I was wandering around, and they said, "Hey, would you like to come in here?" I would just like to be anywhere.
He looked lost and lonely, so we got some cool stuff to talk about today. We got a big announcement on a big announcement.
The thing that's going to really make a lot of gun owners mad because they're going to hate this new gun and they're going to say bad things about it.
Because they're experts.
I love it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So first off, giveaway stuff. All right, so last week we said if you comment on the Facebook or YouTube video, you are entered to win. And so the mystery prize pack from Gun Talk, KJ, who is our winner?
Gerald Deese, or Diaz.
All right.
One of those.
Gerald, thanks for commenting, man.
Yeah.
He's got, I think there's 2 or 3 shirts in there, a couple hats,
It's
a CMR 201 from
Nice.
Crimson Trace.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
So this is basically KJ's leftovers. Is what you're talking about.
It's like, here, take it all.
There's a bunch of cool stuff laying
They went
around.
and said, "Here's KJ's desk. Just rake it off and
That's
take all
it.
the stuff."
My
Right?
office is finally clean.
It's been a work in progress. It's not your fault. So this week, if you comment, you will be entered to win this box.
A box.
It's awesome.
Sweet. And it's got something written on the top of it, so
Yeah, and
you don't
pen.
even have to write anything on the box. It's already pre-written.
So this is actually from Luth AR. We've been working with Luth AR for a bunch of years, and Randy Luth is kind of the guru of AR stuff.
Well, he's the guy who created DPMS Panther Arms.
You may have heard.
So he was one of the big guys early on in the whole AR-15 deal. So he knows ARs.
Yeah, so this is a Luth AR. This is the MBA 1. This is the OG original. Move it over here so you can
It's a
see it.
completely adjustable stock, which allows you to set up your rifle so that it fits you well. So basically, you'll shoot it better.
It's got
That's really what
spacers,
about.
it's got length of pull adjustment, height of comb. So it's a handy little deal, easy to install, even I could do it. So
As long as
comment
you can do it if Randy's here to help you.
if Randy's here and I'll call him and then watch a YouTube video. But comment and one of you guys and gals will be a winner of that guy, which is sweet.
It is. That's a very neat product there.
We also have our big monthly giveaway going on. So you have to go to guntalk.com/win and you can enter to win, and you will, somebody's going to win a Kimber.
Yeah.
Kimber Evo SP.
Kimber in September.
That's right, Kimber in September. So talk about this Evo. It's a neat little gun.
It's like you took a 1911
Yeah.
and you kind of shrunk it down. Of course, Kimber's been making really good 1911s for decades. And then you kind of gave it that meltdown treatment. You kind of take all the hard edges off of it. And as a carry gun, it becomes a really good option for a lot of people who are looking for that, not tiny, not the super subcompact, but kind of the mid-size that's so hot right now.
This is almost, it could be a pocket carry gun.
Yes.
But maybe it just depends on what you're wearing, but certainly small and easy to carry all the time. But it's a Kimber, so it's pretty. Yeah. It shoots nice. It's got a little bit of weight. It's still a small gun. It's not heavy, but so shootability is not there. You see a picture of when
you go to guntalk.com/win. There's a picture of it there. So if you're wondering what it's all about, I mean, do you really care? You could win a Kimber. So why are you not going there and entering right now, right? So there's that.
Yep. So Walmart, you may or may not have heard, Walmart put out a big press release, and then a couple other companies are following suit about gun stuff. So why don't you kind of give us the rundown?
Yeah, I've been talking about this with a lot of media. I just got off the phone with the Washington Post doing stories with different people. Walmart was facing a lot of pushback because there were a couple of shootings in Walmart, and then they had this loon in Arkansas, I think it was Arkansas, who decided to go to a Walmart or Missouri with his AR or some kind of rifle on his back, decked out with his vest. I don't know, making a political statement. I think the statement was, "I'm really stupid."
Yeah,
I think that's the statement he made.
The goal that he accomplished was getting Walmart and Walgreens and a bunch of other companies to
ask people not to open carry.
Yeah.
And once again, the open carry movement works against us, and I'm sorry, it just does. That's my personal opinion. But here's what's interesting about Walmart. They're trying to have it both ways. They're not saying we're going to ban open carry. They're just saying, would you please don't open carry? So they make the gun ban lobby feel good, and they're trying to do it in a way that doesn't really tick off the gun owners, which is an awful lot of Walmart shoppers are gun owners.
Absolutely.
At the same time, they're banning this. They're going to stop selling handgun ammunition and .223 5.56 ammo, the ammo made for the most popular rifles in America. My take on that is really simple. By doing that, they've declared us to be deplorables. They've declared us to be unworthy because we can't trust our customers to actually own handgun ammo. Not that this is going to do anything about, criminals.
Right.
Because criminals, by definition, don't obey
They don't
the
care.
law.
I mean, it's ridiculous. You have been doing a bunch of media. We have a quick clip from I-24 News that we wanted to run here. Let people look at that.
Right.
Let's focus on this gesture that Walmart is coming up with. It's asking customers at Walmart and Sam's Club now to no longer openly carry firearms in stores in states where open carry is in fact allowed. So do you see these policies now spreading to other major retailers? Are they going to feel a social obligation to try and do something and follow suit?
It's disappointing to see what Walmart's doing. It's even more disappointing to realize that so many people don't understand this does absolutely nothing other than makes you appear as though you're doing something. I know people say we must do something, but doing the wrong thing doesn't help. When Walmart says we're not going to sell ammunition that's made for the most popular rifles in America, they're not going to sell handgun ammo that's used by hundreds of thousands of hunters of all things, it's not going to do any good. It's just going to make them feel good. And frankly, I think millions of people are now going to avoid going to Walmart because they look at them and say, you're actually part of the problem of trying to strip us of our Second Amendment rights.
So what's crazy about this to me is I understand that Walmart is kind of like that we're going to do something to make people happy, but it does nothing.
Actually, what they want to do is they want to be seen to be doing something.
Right.
So it's kind of a look at me, look at me. Now we're the cool kids. We're the ones who are part of this deal. But they're still trying to play it down the middle. They used to actually do it smart. They said, look, the rules at Walmart or whatever the laws are in that state.
Right.
If open carry is legal, it's okay. If concealed carry is legal, it's okay. That was a pretty smart way to do it because they offloaded the responsibility.
Right.
Now they've taken it on themselves. It's not going to work well for them. It's just not.
So open carry, I was commenting to you the other day, personally, I've only seen someone actually open carrying probably 2 or 3 times, and nothing happened. They just were open carrying.
It's funny you mention that. When I was talking with a reporter from the Washington Post 2 hours ago now, I said, look, it's fewer than 1% of the people who carry openly. She says, really? And then I thought about that. It's actually probably like 1/10 of 1% or 100th of 1%.
Yeah.
I mean, for every person you see open carrying, I bet there are 10,000 people who are concealed carrying. But what was interesting is what she was very surprised by that.
And I guess my thing is like, you know, the Washington Post reporter, have you ever seen anyone open carry?
Right. No.
If it's so common, just ask it. Anybody's like, well, I'm glad they did that. Have you ever seen anybody open? Have you guys in the back?
I saw a guy coming out of the barber shop probably 2 months ago carrying it in an Uncle Mike's holster.
Of course.
And I'm like, that's exactly what I expected.
Unfortunately, a lot of the open carry guys, and I'm sorry if you are, a lot of them have bad holsters, bad carry habits, and very little. We've had one doing our first person offender show with us who was an open carry aficionado and was absolutely scary in his gun handling.
Sometimes it's I want to show that I'm a gun person. I'm going to get it out there. Sometimes I think it's just laziness or uneducated about haven't given it much thought.
Well, the other thing is that people will say, well, you know, I don't want to get a permit because I don't want to be on a list. Well, let me just tell you two things. One, you're already on a list, right? Because you bought a gun at some point.
You pay taxes.
But the other thing is, there are lists that it's worth being on. There are government lists. The people who signed the Declaration of Independence, that was a death warrant for them.
Yeah.
By signing that, they said, we know the British are going to come kill us and take everything we own, but we're still going to do this. If they could stand up for their rights, for America, by signing that, are you telling me you're not willing to do that for the Second Amendment?
So Bill on Facebook says, and this is great, let's be constructive here.
Yes.
So the question is, what we do to reverse this whole corporate PR war. What is it that we're doing wrong as to why they think we're the people to side against? Do we have literally no friends in higher places and companies?
It's a great question. The problem is we don't have friends in the media, which is, of course, the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party. So the media makes this thing look like this. Well, case in point. I was doing another interview last night, and the reporter says, well, you know, there are hundreds of these mass shootings every year. And I said, no, they're not. She said, well, yeah, there's this website that reports them. I said, the website was put together by the gun ban groups. Okay?
Right.
According to the FBI, the number of mass shootings hasn't changed. It's about 20 to 25 a year, has been for the last decade. Our problem, the question is, how do we reach the public? And I think what we're going to have to do, and we may not have the mass media, but we have millions of us, each of us has to make a commitment to say, today I'm going to talk about this to somebody. I'm going to bring this up to somebody. I'm going to make a point of talking about it, and not in your face, but more of a,
did you know?
Did you know?
Yeah.
Are you aware that every single day you're standing next to people who are carrying loaded guns?
Right.
Really?
But
yes.
They make the some of this stuff, it's like some state was wanting to do a whole, we're going to do background checks on everybody or whatever it was. So they make the assumption that guns are bad.
Right.
Like that's kind of like they're working from the, well, obviously guns are bad.
Yeah, and only bad guys have guns.
Yeah, bad guys are the ones with guns. So that's why this all makes sense. Why would you be opposed to this?
Well, you can't really talk about this and talk about only about the crime that's committed by people with guns and not talk about the people who are saved by people with guns. And that's probably one of our big messages we don't get out very much is, you know, according to the CDC, 6,000 times a day people use guns in self-defense in the U.S. 6,000 times a day. Now, I want to mention, Mike had a question. He had a comment earlier. I want to address that. He says, well, you know, 70% of NRA members want gun reform. That's not true. Okay. I understand that the polls are saying that, but you have to go look at what the polls actually ask.
What's the question they're asking?
The question is, do you support background checks? We already have background checks. Every time you buy a gun from a gun store, there's a background check. If you ask it that way, a lot of people will say, well, yeah. And they may be saying, I'm okay with what we already have.
Yeah.
They're not saying, I want to ban private sales. But if you were to flip it around and say, are you in favor of making it a felony to loan your gun to your neighbor to go pheasant hunting for the weekend? Because that's what we're talking about.
That's what universal background checks are.
Then you're not going to get a 70%, you're not going to get a 50%, you're not going to get a 30%, you might get 10% of NRA members who are in favor of that. So on these polls, if you didn't see the question, just automatically assume it's bogus. And you know, they'll sometimes say, well, you know, 90% of the public wants expanded background checks. No, they don't.
No, it's the way they ask the question.
It is. Yeah.
So, you know, it is frustrating, and I think, like I said, we were talking about this. It's not going to accomplish anything, but you said, but it is bad because you have these big corporate cultures.
They're taking a stand in the culture war.
Yeah.
And it's a culture war. Okay. So yes, when you have Walmart and Walgreens, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to the public, it looks like there's momentum. It looks like, well, everybody is now in favor of gun control. How can you be against that?
You're not being, you know, everyone else is reasonable on
Right.
this.
You're
You're
not
being
being
unreasonable
reasonable.
or whatever.
Right. And it is difficult. And if we don't have the mass media, well, first of all, we have the Truth Squad.
Right.
We've got several 100,000 people, and you're part of the Truth Squad if you're watching this. You are
Absolutely.
charged with challenging every lie like that. If you hear it on the radio, you see it on TV, you read it in the paper, you read it online, challenge it and just say, that's not true. Because what do we say? A lie that's left unchallenged becomes the truth, because that's all the people hear.
And they just keep repeating it. You got a comment?
Dusty actually has a good point. He says what he doesn't understand is why the NRA is being so demonized by the firearms community today.
Great. The question is, why is the NRA being demonized by the firearms community? I don't think it is.
Well, there are certain people in the firearms community who are they're basically ragging on the NRA so much that it feels like.
Well, are they ragging on the NRA or are they ragging on the current leadership of the NRA? Because there's a move to replace Wayne LaPierre and some of the top people because, frankly, they've been spending millions of dollars and putting it in their pockets and spending, you know,
Sure.
taking these luxurious trips and flying on jet planes and spending $250,000 on Wayne's suits, for heaven's sakes. So there are people who have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as saying we don't support the NRA, I think that's a separate thing. I'm not hearing a lot of that. I mean,
and there may be people who don't make that distinction. There could be,
That's a good point.
you know, some YouTube guy that has 1 million subscribers that says, I'm pissed about the NRA, I'm pissed about the NRA, but never explains to the audience to say, look, the NRA is good and we need them to be strong, they're important.
Right.
I'm just not happy how it's being run right now.
We have to have the NRA. There's no one else who can do what they do. Right now, they're very weakened, and it's a really bad time because Congress is coming back right now. So what can we do? Let's spin back to what can we do?
What can we do?
Right now, every single one of us can do this. You can make 2 phone calls. There's one number that reaches the House and the Senate. One number. You call them and say, I live in Montana, and I live here. I don't know who my senators are. I don't know who my representatives is. They will put you through.
Yeah.
So you're going to talk to those 3 offices, and then you're going to just simply say, I don't want any more gun control. I'm against this. I don't care if it's red flag laws or universal background check or whatever. And then you make one more call, and that's to the White House, and you can look up those numbers. It's really easy.
It's easier than finding new sneakers on Amazon.
Yeah,
okay?
I mean, it
Just
is
Google
really
it.
easy. What's the phone number for the White House? Put it into your search engine window. If you and every one of us makes those 2 calls, contacts that'd be 4 people you're actually contacting, 2 senators, a representative, and the White House, we can push back. And you know what? And then they can't say, well, you know, I never heard from any of my constituents who were against this.
All I heard, I heard. And the thing is, and this we've been hounding, and I think, I don't want to, you know, bore people with it, but it's true that the gun control side is way smaller than the people who are pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment.
But they're more energized.
They're more energized. They're more vocal. They show up. They call. They cry at hearings because they're worried or whatever.
The world belongs to those who show up.
Mm-hmm.
If you sit on your butt at home and you do not make these phone calls, then you have no right to complain about what did the NRA do? Why didn't somebody do something about this? Those darn Republicans. Oh, no. It's him and it's me and it's you and it's every one of us has to make that call. And then next week, we have to make the call again. It takes about 5 minutes to do it.
Yeah.
Okay? So 5 minutes of your life, if you want to be a Second Amendment activist, there you go.
You don't have to drive
We can
across the
actually
state.
win this stuff.
Yeah.
Now, it's not a bad idea to also show up at your state legislature and get involved with all of that.
Do what you can.
But at least this is easy. You make phone calls and we win. Let me just tell you, if 100,000 of us started making a call every week, we win.
It's
Done.
It's done.
We win.
Well, you know, and we may have said this before, but in case they haven't heard it, there's about around 5 million NRA members.
Right.
Right? And the question was brought up, you know, well, there's 100 million gun owners, there's only 5 million NRA members. There's 15 million hunters each year. There's 5 million NRA members. There's 20 million to 30 million concealed carry holders. 5 million NRA members. What could we get done? How do we ask the question?
The question
if there were 20 million.
What could we do if we had 20 million NRA members? Anything we wanted.
Yeah.
We could win in Congress every time.
They wouldn't be able to touch gun control.
So the question then becomes, if you're not, people say, well, you know, I used to be a member, but I'd let my membership drop. I don't like those guys. Really? If you're not, why not? Nobody's perfect. Every family, you know, you don't agree with everybody in your family, and you can say, I don't agree with them on a number of things, but overall, they're the only people in D.C. who are getting things done. And look,
now that being said, there are people saying, I'm not donating to the NRA right now.
I get that.
But my thing is, don't do nothing.
Right.
If you were going to give the NRA $25, $100, give it to
Second
Amendment Foundation or your state group
Yep.
or something like that.
Yep. But at the very least, you have to belong, because when the lobbyists from NRA show up at the congressman's office, the first question they're going to ask is, how's membership?
Yeah.
And they know if membership is down by half, they go, well, you don't really have a lot of power.
Yeah, you're losing your
So
clout.
simply by being a member, and look, I support the Second Amendment Foundation, but that's not the NRA. They're not. They do a different thing.
Right.
You know, and the NRA has to be strong. And yes, I would like to clean up this mess that's over there now, but that's going to be temporary. We still need a strong NRA for this.
All right. Moving on to the next thing.
Yes.
Okay. Big Sig Sauer news.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
It's officially dropping on Monday, but this Sunday on Gun Talk Radio, we're going to have Sig Sauer on to announce a big new product.
Okay. The thing I like about this product is it's going to drive people crazy. We've seen it before, but it's never like it's going to be for this. Because when I tell you this is different, I mean, you've shot this gun.
It's different.
It's one of those when you hear about it, when you see the release, when you hear us talk about it, you're going to think, that's stupid.
There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of naysayers.
To say the
KJ,
least.
we were talking about this in the office, and it's going to be fun to watch.
It is. People are going to
hate it.
They are going to hate it.
They haven't shot it.
They're going to hate it on first look, probably. A lot of people may go, I don't get it, I don't understand it.
They're going to say, oh
be.
yeah, it's a solution in search of a problem. That's just stupid. I would never do that, yada, yada.
A lot of opinions before you actually get to see it or shoot it.
You see people actually bad-mouthing a gun before it's ever even been on the market. Well, that thing will never shoot, right?
Right.
Okay, so, but we got pictures of this.
We have a sneak peek of the product. We should just give you a quick, we're going to give you like
we can't
3
give
seconds.
a lot of details, but
Look
here's the
real
picture.
hard. All right.
Go for it.
Okay, that's
There it
it.
is.
That's all we can give you. That's enough. Cut it off.
But this Sunday on Gun Talk, we're actually going to be able to talk about what it is. I mean, this thing is so different. It's going to be fun to watch the reaction. And if you go on all the different gun forums and groups, people are going to lose their minds about this one.
Yeah, but it's going to be fun. So we're going to have Phil Strader on, pro shooter, and you know, a SIG guy,
right,
to tell you all about it. And then Monday we will be dropping a video. Correct? Monday, dropping a video on Monday on all of our platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Roku, all the places.
Yep.
So you guys can actually see it in action and see what we did with it. So don't forget to sign up for the Gun Talk newsletter, guntalk.com. Don't forget to register for the Kimber giveaway. And if you commented here, you're entered to win the Luth MBA 1. So,
in the meantime, make some calls to your senators, your congressmen, and the White House. Because there are people right now in Congress who are thinking, we'll give a little bit on this, we get a little bit, we'll try to make everybody happy. You got to tell them, no, there's no way you make me happy by giving away my Second Amendment rights. Absolutely no.
That's it. So happy Friday. You guys be careful on the weekend. Have fun. Go do some shooting. Go do some scouting, some hunting.
Shoot something.
See you next week.